Are you ready to live life to the full? Are you ready to rise up and live a life of honor? Are you ready to boldly step into a life of courage? This is the Manlihood ManCast.
Guys, welcome to the Manlihood ManCast. I know last week we had some political talk. Gonna have a little bit more today. I'm gonna try to not get too far into the political because I get really sick of it, to be completely honest with you. But there's a couple things that I think we need to talk about because they affect how we relate with the world as men. And today we're going to talk about cancel culture, which I don't know, maybe if I do my job right, this gets me canceled. I don't know, but it shouldn't, and we're going to talk about that. Cancel culture is this idea, guys, where we silence people for their political opinions or racist opinions or homophobic opinions or whatever it is that they have that we determine to be offensive. Then our culture shuts them down and goes against them. And I've seen it go both ways, and it's really kind of getting ridiculous. So we're going to talk about cancel culture on the Manlihood ManCast right after this.
Hey man, I see you. I see your fire going out. I see your marriage barely holding on. I know you're broke, wore out, and at the end of your rope. I've been there. It sucks. Sucks the spark right out of you. Till all you have is a pile of wet wood. It feels like it's never gonna burn. I can't fix your problems. I can't make her love you again. I can't lose 50 pounds for you or fill your bank account. But I can remind you of who you are. I can share some of my fire. I can help you make a plan to get your life back on track. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's reignite our lives. There's a lot at stake. No one wants their marriage to end in divorce. No one wants to wallow in despair or to the dark places that follow. So let's do it. Let's reignite our lives. Let's reignite our passion, our marriage, our health, our career, our dreams, our mindsets. Get reignite today.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Manlihood ManCast. I'm your host, Josh Hatcher, and we are in our episode. We're rolling straight ahead through our episode here on the Manlihood ManCast, where we're going to talk about cancel culture. Before we get into that, I just want to encourage you, please go to manlihood.com/store and help support what we're doing here at Manlihood by grabbing a Manlihood shirt or a Manlihood hoodie or one of the books that I've written. There's all kinds of stuff there for you that's going to help you to spread the word or to grow as a man and be a better man. Also, make sure that if you want to, hop on to our private Facebook group, the Manlihood Man Cave, and you can interact with some guys there who all want to help you be a better man. It's free of charge. You hop in, you answer a couple questions. As long as you don't have a joint Facebook account, I mean, I understand the reason that exists, but we really don't want to have wives reading what we're saying in there. We want this to be just for men. It's just for men only. If you're a woman listening to this, hey, we love you. We appreciate you. You can interact with us publicly, but in our Facebook group, that's private. So make sure you check it out. So guys, let's talk about cancel culture. And, interestingly enough, recently there's a big stink about this as people are pushing forward. They're trying to stand against it. There was like an article written, journalists are being shut down or told they can't write about certain things based on such and such, or you've got celebrities who are being called out because they do whatever. Recently, the president of Goya, which is a Hispanic food maker, praised President Trump, and then all these celebrities decided it's time to boycott Goya. All right. Cancel culture is not working. Okay? Here's another example for you. There's a black man in the park, and there's a woman who's got her dog, and the dog is supposed to be on a leash. The guy is trying to watch birds, and the dog is chasing birds, and he says to her, please, could you put your dog on a leash? You're supposed to have her on a leash. And she threatens to call 911. In fact, does call 911 and says that a black man is harassing her in the park. And so then he had taken a video of it. It went viral, and then she got fired, and she got called out in all the media. And the guy that she offended said, I think she's had enough. We don't need to completely destroy her. And there's some truth to that. He actually said, I don't know that she should be fired for that. And, to be fair, I don't know. I'm not sure how that should work. I do know that freedom of speech has consequences. Yes, we all have a right to freedom of speech. And We have a right to say what we want to say and think what we want to think, even if we're wrong. But if I'm going to lie about someone else, there's consequences to that. Sometimes legal consequences. Defamation, things like that. If I'm going to discriminate against somebody because I'm racist, there are consequences to that because it's illegal. It's wrong. You can't discriminate against someone just because of the color of their skin or their religion or whatever. So there are some consequences, but you still have the right to think it. You still have the right to say it, even if it's wrong. And then we then have the right to say, I'm not going to shop there. You know, I'll tell you, there are people whose businesses I don't go to because of the way they treated me in the past. And I guess to a degree, that's a little bit of cancel culture. I have that right to do that. But at the same time, and this is where we really need to work on things, and this is where I'm going to challenge you, man. I don't care whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're Christian, whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you worship Odin. Okay? We have to start striving to be unoffendable. We need to not get outraged by everything. There are things worth getting outraged about. There are. But really? Everything? Because someone called you a name? Because someone said something about you didn't like? Because someone said something about your favorite politician that you didn't like? Stop. This culture of outrage is what's fueling this cancel culture. And to be honest with you, we are hypocrites about how the cancel culture is getting executed. You know, they'll threaten to cancel a comedian who performed in blackface. That's offensive. It is offensive. Should be offensive. Shouldn't do it. And yet, if we shut him down, even though he comes out and says, it was a mistake, I should have never done that, that is not my character, I shouldn't have listened to the person that told me to do it, I take responsibility, I'll never do it again. You know what? Okay, you're still funny, so we'll listen to you. But that's not what happens, and that's not what we do. Or we allow that comedian to get by, but we completely destroy somebody else, because even if they are talking about it, even if they are being real, even if they are saying, you know what, I shouldn't have done that, we're crucifying them. Guys, we cannot win if all we're doing is eating each other alive, and if all we're doing is finding reasons to get offended. If you're looking for a reason to be offended, you are going to find it. Okay? Stop looking for it. Stop looking for a reason to get outraged. Get outraged when people are being mistreated. Get outraged when justice isn't happening. Get outraged about government doing what it's not supposed to do and overstepping its bounds in places that it shouldn't be. Get outraged about hate. Sure. Don't get outraged about symbols or words or stupid things that people say. And if you're outraged, the best way to be outraged is just to cut them off. Turn them off. You don't need to consume that. The best response to speech you don't like is to walk away. Don't give them your money. Don't give them your attention. Don't acknowledge them. That's the best response to speech you don't like. Should you call it out? Sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes we should call it out. We should say, you can't talk that way. I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of talk about politics, about people saying, oh, you know, we need to regulate Facebook or regulate Twitter, and I'm not saying we don't. I don't know how all that really works, to be honest with you. I'm not a legal expert. But I will tell you this. In my living room right here, where we're at right now, if somebody walks in my living room and starts talking bad about my wife, I'm going to ask them to leave. Because it's my home, and I am sovereign here, and this is my country, and I am the king of Hatcherdom. You don't come in here and you don't insult my family. Or I ask you to leave, or I break your face. Pretty simple, right? So, Facebook owns its platform. Google owns YouTube and owns its platform. Twitter owns its platform. Now, there are debates about it. If they're publicly traded, does that mean it should be regulated? Possibly. Possibly. I like I said, I can't really necessarily understand the legalities of it, but I do know this. before you start talking about the regulation of it, think very carefully about whether or not that's what you want. Because the other implication of that is, what if they say that you can't say what you want on your property, on your website, on your platform? I don't like that. And it makes me uncomfortable at the thought that the government could say, don't do this. Now I know we're like, well, they're never going to say that. Look, there are things we never thought the government would do that they've been doing. So I don't trust them. I wish I did. I trust you. I trust you to do the right thing. I trust myself to do the right thing. I don't trust everybody else to do the right thing. I don't trust Facebook or Twitter or Google to do the right thing. I don't. But before we crank the screws on regulation, let's make sure that what we're doing is what we really want and that it doesn't have unintended consequences that bite us in the butt later. All right? That's my political take on this whole cancel culture thing, I guess. But I guess that's the biggest point that I want to make with you guys is we can tolerate the free speech that is on our own platform, on our own property. That's up to us what we allow to be said there. It's also their right to say it, and it's your right to say, nope, not going to happen. It's their right to say, this is what we stand for. We stand for X, Y, and Z. And you can say, that's fine, I don't stand for X, Y, and Z, so I'm not giving you my money. You know, if you don't like Walmart's stance on X, Y, or Z, or if you don't like the grocery store down the street and their stance on X, Y, and Z, guess what? That's fine. Don't go there. Don't give them your money. Do you need to draw attention to it? Maybe. Maybe. But like I said, be careful, because what's happening right now in this cancel culture is a constant outrage and then a backlash and then an outrage and then a backlash. And so you have one side calling people out for X, Y, and Z, and then the other side calling them out for A, B, and C, because how dare you call us out for A, B, and C, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Cancel culture is a crock. What we need to be thinking about is, how do we use our speech and our message to make the world a better place? And it may involve calling people out or saying something that people don't like. It may involve that. You know, calling out the fact that there are people who are being abused, being sold into sex slavery across this country. Calling that out, yeah, that's a good thing. Don't do business with somebody if they're supporting slavery. Yeah, that's fair. And call it out. At the same time, so somebody doesn't like your political candidate, should you call him out? Is it worth it? Pick your battles, guys. Pick your battles. If you're going to get outraged over things worth getting outraged about. Anyway, that is my podcast episode for today. I appreciate you guys putting up with a couple days worth of politics. I know that not everybody likes it, and hopefully, I guess if I've done my job right, I've ticked you all off and made you think and made you process it a little bit. That's what I want to do. I want you to think instead of just being fed and regurgitating what they're feeding you. Think. Process it. Use it. Anyway, guys, I love you guys. Please go to manlihood.com, sign up for the Manlihood Man Cave, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff to this video or this podcast episode. Leave a review. Let people know about it. I care about you, and I hope you have a good week.
You want to be a better man? Check out our website, manlihood.com, for blogs, videos, and more from our Manlihood team. Men, you can also join our private Facebook group, Manlihood Man Cave, where you can meet up with a band of brothers who will challenge you and help you on your journey of manhood. Be sure to check out all our resources at manlihood.com/store. This episode is produced by Thatcher Media for manlihood.com. Our manly theme music is from Austin Sterling and also from Mark Cruz. Sure to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, YouTube, or whatever you're listening to. Tune in again for more of the Manlihood ManCast.